All right. Hi, everybody. My name is Robyn Lynn Norris. I'm an actor, writer, improviser based in Los Angeles, and I know everything about Bravo TV.
Hello, I'm Carla Kakowski, and I am a writer, a director, and an improviser, and I know nothing about Bravo TV. Proudly.
Well, proudly, yet I'm trying to make a difference. Welcome to the Bravo Bubble, a podcast for Bravoholics.
Yep. And that is not me. So here we are.
Here we are. Okay, so we're changing it up this week. We are going to talk about Love Hotel. And before we do that, though, let's catch up because we have a lot of little updates. So,
Yeah.
Carla, anything going on in your world you want to chat about?
What's going on in my world? Have some travel coming up. We just booked our flights to London in the fall. Really excited about
Ooh,
that.
that's
And
exciting.
be there for about a week and a half. We're gonna go to New York first and then
Oh,
to London. It's gonna be a really amazing trips.
are you
It is.
improvising in London or is this just for fun?
Yes, we'll be improvising in
Okay.
London. So my husband Craig does this show. He's done it for years called the Thrilling Adventure Hour, and
Oh,
they're doing their
yes.
20-year anniversary. So they're doing shows in New York and then in London, and I'm tagging along, and then he and I are gonna improvise in London together.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Londoners, you're in for a treat. Now, you
Yes.
have also written an episode or two, or maybe even more for that show. Am I
Yeah.
correct?
Thrilling Adventure Hour. It's a
Yes.
really fun podcast with Paget Brewster and Paul F. Tompkins and Mark Evan Jackson and just some really great actors. It's an old-time radio show created by Ben Acker and Ben Blacker, and those are their real
Yeah.
names. And it's been
Yeah.
around
So,
for 20 years.
yeah, it's fantastic. So, we'll put that in the show notes. I think you might even have a live show coming up that you got to give me the date for, Carla.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. So that's very exciting. I also have lots of travel coming up. It is mostly work related, though. I've got a lot of corporate improv gigs. I'm very grateful
Yeah.
for them, though. So I'll be
Totally.
going to the East Coast and back lots of times. Well, I was
Yes.
gonna say something else. Okay. Oh, I wanted to tell you something.
Yeah.
So a few weeks ago, we went to something I think you would love. And I'm gonna maybe mess up the name. It's like the Los Angeles Festival of Books, or
Yeah, I've been
okay,
there before.
uh,
Yeah, it's
okay,
please tell me. It's been years since I've gone. Please,
okay.
please.
So I had never been, and Atul wanted to go with our friend Manny, and so we went. It's at USC. It is huge. Now it
Yeah.
is bigger. I guess they went a couple years ago. It's so much bigger now. You go on, and it's like takes over the campus. Like it's like vendors every which way you look. And you're such a reader. I was like, Carla would love this. Like, it
Yeah.
was so fun. Like, I went not intending to get anything, and then I was like, oh, we have to stop here, we have to stop here, we have to stop here. Now, something very special happened that relates to our podcast. So I was walking by, we were just walking by, and I saw a sign that said bubble. And so that caught my eye because I was like, Bravo bubble, right? And I was like, oh, something bubble. And then there were bubbles blowing. And I was like, oh, how interesting. I go to see what the book is. It is a book inspired by Housewives, yet
What?
it's fictional. I got it for us.
Oh my
I
God,
think
amazing.
you're gonna love this, Carla. It's Chinatown meets Housewives in a Hollywood whodunit.
Oh, I love it already. That sounds
Right?
great. Yeah.
So fun. So I haven't read it yet. I was just like, I can't believe the odds of something him using bubbles to promote and then it actually relating to our
That's
podcast.
amazing. What, tell them the name and the author because you're
Yes.
holding it up, but
I shall. It is by Will Sterling, and it's called Fame by Misadventure, a novel.
ooh, book
So,
club.
yeah, I thought it might be a fun thing for us to read. So I was like,
Yeah.
well, I have to buy this. This is like too serendipitous. So, yeah, he used to work for a big podcast company, and now he's branched off. And so I thought you would like it because it's fictional and it's an
Yeah.
interesting idea. Now you know a little about Housewives, and obviously we know Chinatown. So
Right. I love the idea of like smashing these genres together. Sounds really fun.
yeah, so
Cool.
that's cool. We'll put that in the show notes as with a link, and then we'll start reading it if you
Yeah.
have time, if we both have time, maybe on
Yes.
our travels. And
Yeah.
then We both saw a play separately that we wanted to recommend. It may be closed by the time you hear this, yet keep an eye out because it's amazing. It's at the
Yeah.
Geffen. It's called Furlough's Paradise.
Yep.
And I saw it a couple weeks ago, not knowing anything about it, and was just blown away. And then you went last week, I think.
Yeah, I actually was there on closing night. So it is closed in LA, but
Okay.
I do think I mean, it was such a success. I can't imagine that it's not going to be touring or something. Yeah.
Yeah, it was, one of those original works, which just like from the moment it started, you could tell like the actors were incredible. The set and the direction and the creativity they used to tell this story. And I don't want to give too
Yeah.
much away about the story, but it was just like I laughed, I cried.
Hmm.
Apparently, the play is written as a poem, so the director had all this freedom to interpret it, and they just did such a fantastic job. And
Yeah.
we both love live theater, and there's so much great theater out there, yet every once in a while you see something and you're like, whoa, that's incredible.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Yeah, and just a little like vlog line for it is about two women, two cousins who haven't seen each other in years, and one of their parents have died, and they are on furlough from prison to come
mhm.
attend the funeral. And so these two cousins reconnect over a weekend.
Yeah. And I want to give a shout out to it was written by A.K. Payne and directed by I might mispronounce this, Tanashi Kajisi Bolden. And the actors were Casey Rogers and DeWanda Wise, and they were just
Yeah, it was
unbelievable.
amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Get
Yeah.
your theater on out there.
Get your theater on. Now, before we dive into Love Hotel, I have two things I want to say. One is I want to apologize to you, Carla, because a couple weeks ago we talked about Tom Sandoval's Touch in Public video, and you were like, "Is it about like they're gonna like what did you say? They're gonna have an orgasm in public?" And I was like, "No, no, I don't think it's about that. I think it's just like literally about touching in public." And then I rewatched it, and he literally goes, I'm so close. I'm so close. He's about to, like, it was so obvious that it is that. I was like, oh, I owe you an apology for that one.
Well, that's very sweet. I don't remember it all because I don't remember anything after we do these,
Yeah,
but
I
sure.
know. Well, I still want to get your friend on who was from Second City that's in the video. So
Oh
we'll
yeah,
chat
Bobby.
offline about
Yeah.
this. I think it'd be really fun to just have a chat
Yeah.
with him. Yeah. And then my friend Katie Mancuso, who listens to the podcast and she's loving it, and she decided to watch all of Vanderpump from the beginning. So she was
Amazing.
checking in about our episodes because she was like, I'm like Carla, I don't know what Scandival is and I don't want to know. So
Yeah.
she's up to episode 5, and I just said, hey, can you please
Whoa.
just guess? Or episode 5, no, season 5 of their show.
Whoa,
She is Liz.
Katie.
Yeah, she's
Well
crushing it.
done.
She's in it. And she's listening to our shows, but she's going to skip the Vanderpump ones for now because she doesn't want to be spoiled. And so I said, just give me a guess what you think Scandival is based on watching 5 seasons. And she was like, I have no idea, but my best guess is that he sleeps with Stassi or like Jax or something. So
Mm.
we'll see if she's right once we talk about it
That
later.
Tom sleeps with Jax? That would be a
That's
great
what her guess
twist.
is. Yeah, she's like, I have no idea. My guess is he sleeps with Stassi or Jax. Ha ha ha.
I love
So.
it. I love it.
So we love the guesses. If any of you want to guess who don't know, please message us. Send us in some of your guesses. Now,
Speaking of Stassi, I sent
yeah,
you a clip of her crushing on Nicola Coughlan, who I also crush on. That was fun
yes,
to see those two
yeah.
worlds collide. I guess they met at some, I don't know what it was, some sporting event somewhere.
Oh, yes, yeah. I
And Nicola
mean,
Coughlan went up to her husband and was like, "Are you Beau or whatever?"
yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah." And she was like, "I'm a huge Vanderpump fan." And I guess her husband didn't, Stassi's husband, Stassi, right?
Uh-huh.
Didn't know who Nicola Coughlan was, and she was like, "I'm a
Oh,
Bridgerton." And then he was like, "Oh my God, you have to stay here. She's in the restroom. She's gonna." And then like he recorded the two of them meeting, and it's very cute.
that is so cute. Yeah, I love
Yeah,
it when you send me those things. I think 90% of them are related to Nicola Coughlan
yeah,
because you
100%.
love her and she
I'm in
loves
her
drama.
algorithm. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also sent you one about Elizabeth Moss
Oh,
um,
yes.
can you explain this? And actually, this is incredibly rude, but I'm just going to live in the moment and be who I am. And my husband just
Yeah.
texted for my lunch order. So while you're
Oh,
explaining what that was,
get
I'm going to
that
text him my
lunch
lunch order.
order. Okay,
Like,
so
yeah.
No, no, no. We will put this in the show notes because I had heard about this and I hadn't watched it. Okay, I cannot play this on the air and I'll edit this out a little bit.
I have it pulled up too, if you
Yeah,
need it. You have to keep this in. You're being so cute right now. Laughing at it.
it's so funny. Well, I'll cut the audio because
Yeah.
we get flagged.
Oh, I see. I can't hear it.
Okay, okay, maybe we'll keep it.
Yeah, I don't think it's
Okay, I
recording.
did just, okay, thanks, Carla, for because this is a treat. I just rewatched the beginning of this
Yeah.
again. This is Elizabeth Moss on Watch What Happens Live doing a dramatic interpretation of Sutton Stracke at Dorit's 4th of July party, and it is so funny. It's just like,
Yeah.
I came to your house. I brought you a bottle of champagne. And they've got the dramatic music. That is like my comedy. Like, I love that stuff, that over dramatic,
Yeah.
and she's brilliant at it. And so that was definitely trending a couple weeks ago. So
Yeah, it
that,
popped up. I think I got it late. I think, because I'm in the algorithm, but not directly,
yeah,
And so when it
yeah.
came up, I was like, I gotta send this to Robyn. You were like, I've heard about this.
Oh my God. It really honestly inspired me, and I don't think I'll be able to do it because we're approaching the end of May, but there's a thing in, well, everywhere called Self-Tape May where the
Oh,
goal is like
yeah.
do 16 self-tapes in the month of May. And I've done it for the past 4 years, just between auditions, and then I'll add a couple extras in there. And this year I haven't officially done it. Yet I was like, what if I just find dramatic housewives monologues and
Oh,
do like
yeah.
10 in a row and just throw it up just for fun?
I
Like
love it. That's
I kind of thought
amazing.
that might be fun. So
Yeah,
maybe
you
we'll do that.
should. Do
Yeah,
it. Do it before
do it.
anybody who hears this steals the idea and does.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be
Awesome.
great. Yeah, she's so great. Elizabeth
Mhm.
Moss is obviously a great actress. So,
Oh
and then there
yeah.
was one other piece of thing but it disappeared from my messages. So, it was
Oh,
something about big news. Dumois had big news about, and so you knew what it was. So explain it
yes.
to me.
It is that the rumor, well, there's going to be Real Housewives of Rhode Island, which I think might be amazing.
And that's never been done before, right?
No, never done
Okay.
before. So I'm hoping it's a little like Salt Lake City where it's like so nichey. It's like, what is this? So the rumor is that Dolores Catania might be moving from Jersey, who you do not know yet, Carla,
Okay.
might be moving over to the Rhode Island franchise, which would
Okay.
be huge. She's pretty awesome. I think you would actually like her. You're looking for someone to
Okay.
like in Jersey. She's very likable. So that's big news for those of us who care.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
then I did see a follow-up, and it must have been on Dumois. I don't really follow, I know I talk about Dumois a lot, but it's like the
yeah,
only kind of like gossip rag that I follow.
right.
And so it must have been this. But anyways, that someone wrote in and said she's just gotten a rental house there or something.
Oh, okay.
So whether she's moving there or not is unclear, or if they're just like using her name to kind of launch this
Yeah.
new franchise.
That could be. They do that a lot. A lot of the housewives will be like, "Oh, you have a rental house. You don't even live
Mm.
here." Like they did that on Salt Lake City to Meredith Marks because she's in a different house every season. It's
Oh, that's
like,
funny. Yeah.
yeah, they rent these houses for the show to make it like look like they live there, or they rent something that's outside their pay that they can afford, and then it's
I
like, "This
see.
is where I live." Yeah.
I see. Okay. All
Yeah.
right, we're caught up. We're all
We're
caught
caught
up.
up. Okay, so we're switching it up. We're gonna go into Love Hotel. So I was so excited because it's hot out here in LA now. So I was like, let me put on my first summer clothes
Yeah, so
and
cute.
we're switching it up. I want to pretend I'm on this island at this hotel with them because it looks so
Yeah.
relaxing and amazing. Now, I wasn't sure I was going to even be into this show because I don't watch a lot of the dating shows. I like the competition shows like Survivor and I like the Housewives type shows. So I was like, I don't know about this Love Hotel. And yet I kept hearing it was good. It was good. And then
Yeah.
we want to bring you up to modern times, Carla, so you know what's up.
Hmm.
So I thought it'd be fun for you to watch the first episode and then you can be in it basically in real time as other people. So
Yeah.
do you want to give a recap of this episode?
Gosh, I didn't work on one. I'm sorry. I
That's
actually didn't
okay.
take any notes for this one either, which
Okay.
is really bad homework.
Ah,
girl. But I watched it this morning, so it's very fresh in
Okay,
my mind. Um,
great.
what I will say is that it's four ex-housewives.
Yes.
Luann,
Mm-hmm.
and she's from New York, right?
Yes.
And I know her.
Yes.
Is it Shannon?
Yes.
Do I know her?
You do not.
What is she? Which franchise was she from?
Where do you think she's from?
Orange County?
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, great. Ashley,
Yes,
which franchise is she from? Or you want me to guess?
I do.
Okay, Ashley, I feel like she could be Beverly Hills, but I
She
don't.
could be. It's something you haven't seen yet.
Oh, okay. Miami? No. Potomac?
Yes. Ding, ding, ding.
Okay, great. And then Gizelle.
Uh-huh.
See, I know all the names of these ones
You
because these
do.
are very like, and also it's like only four of them, which is
Yeah.
great. Like,
Yeah.
let's do that, producers of Housewives. Four people is perfect. And these are all
Yes.
very different women. I don't know what Giselle's from either, but she's like great. I really liked
She's
her.
great. I love her. She is also from Potomac.
Okay.
So this is a fun one for you because it's three housewives you haven't from franchises you haven't met. You've only met Luann. Luann is very different, I think, here than what you saw her as the prim and proper Countess back in the
Yeah.
day. So this is
Yeah, she's very different than what
the
I
real
remember.
Luann, I think.
So I'll just give like a very brief,
Yeah,
non-specific recap, which is like it's the
sure.
first episode, so they are just arriving to the hotel and
Mhm.
they're meeting the men, and so it like the host is really funny. I don't know his name, but he seemed
That,
cool.
yeah, that's Joel Kim Booster. He's a comedian.
Oh, okay, great.
Yes,
He seemed like it. He didn't seem like from that world. He felt
right.
like he knew what he was doing,
Yes, yeah,
you
no,
know.
he's fantastic. He's very, very
Yeah.
funny. Yeah.
And they're meeting the men with, and it seems like they all are like looking for love. Luann, I'm not sure about. It seems like maybe she's just there for shits and giggles, but
Yeah,
the other three seem like they want to be in love and marry
right.
somebody again. And so they're all like kind of serious about the possibilities here. And then you meet the men, and then the women ask their like, top pick for the first day out on a date. Then each of them
Mhm.
goes out on a bananas date, and
Yes.
then they come back and like have another hangout with all the men again, and then it
Yes.
ends with Ashley and her date
Hmm.
Wally,
Yeah.
um making kissing like a
Yeah.
cute little kiss, like an end of the night kiss.
Yeah. It was sweet. So that was a pretty good recap. And I
Thank
may
you.
even pull this up because I watched this a couple weeks ago and I actually was like, oh, I like this show. I had fun. I don't know.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I'm in. I
Yeah.
really liked it. I actually liked it better than anything we've watched so far.
Okay. I had thought you might like it. This is good.
Yeah.
This is great.
It's like easy breezy, it's
Yep.
fast, it's like I know why they're doing it. It doesn't like the artifice of them and of the housewives in their homes and their communities
Yeah.
and stuff, and like how that feels a little artificial because it's so
Mhm.
produced. This
Yeah.
is produced. Like you just know
Yeah.
going into it, like they're at a hotel, they're there to meet the
Yes.
guys. They may
Yeah.
or may not work. You know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
just it's more straightforward, which I really like. It feels less like they're trying to trick us into thinking this is real life, you know?
Absolutely. And like I said, I don't watch a lot of the dating shows, so
Yeah,
I
me
don't
either.
know if this is unique. I like that it's like the four women who kind of
Yep.
get to pick the guys. Like it's not just like the bachelor or the bachelorette. It's like it's kind of it's an uneven playing field. It's not like even
Yeah.
number of men, even number of women. So I think it's really interesting. And, for us Bravoholics, it's fun because we know these ladies. And then for
Yeah.
you, you get to meet them. And I think if I'm hearing you correctly, these ladies are dynamic and different enough that it makes it interesting.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And
Okay.
they're not like there to fight with each other. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? Like they're
Yeah.
not it seems like they're actually there to support each other on their little
Yeah.
quest, you know? And
Yeah.
it was just it was much more easy to digest in terms of all of that dynamic.
Amazing. Oh, I love
Yeah.
it. Now, you're going to see even more of that. I've watched up to episode 3. Maybe we'll just have you watch a couple more. I don't know.
Yeah.
So great. So we like this show.
Yes,
Love
I
it.
like it. I like it. I like the women. I really like the men. I actually
Yes.
was kind of maybe more interested in the men than I was in the
Okay.
women, which I thought
Great.
was odd, but they all seem like, and of course we're going to get to know them better, so who knows?
Yes.
But on the surface level, they all seem like kind of good dudes and like
Yes.
they're there for the right reasons.
Yeah, I like them
Shocking.
too. So
Yeah.
we'll kind of go through and chat about them, as we go on this episode. Another thing I really liked about this, Carla, is I felt it fit our show very well because when they would interview a lot of the guys, they'd be like, "Do you know what the housewives are?" And they're like, "I have no
Yes.
idea." They
I
had no
loved
idea.
it. Yes. I wrote three things down. That was one of the things that I wrote down was that when Wally was like, I've seen one
Yeah,
episode of something. And then one guy was like, I don't have a TV.
right. Like
It's so
what?
funny. Yes, yes,
Oh,
yes.
so good. Do you recall any specific moments that kind of made you laugh or anything?
Yeah, I mean, Luann's just hilarious.
Yeah.
And she just seems like a different person. Like she
Yeah.
seemed much more sophisticated or like putting on airs in the episode I've seen her in before. And this she
Yeah.
seems like more like the fun party lady. She seemed more comfortable with herself. It felt more authentic.
She is a fun party lady. In fact, I may need to like when we go back and revisit New York, there's some episodes of her honestly on vacation and they're classic. They're amazing because
Okay, great.
she's just like I want to hook up with all these people. Let's be cool. Don't be
Yeah.
uncool. Let's be cool. Like it's just
Yeah.
she's great. And she just had her cabaret show. It was we couldn't have gone. It was when we were both out of town, but it was just here. And if that
Aw.
comes back again, we've got to go
Yeah, I will
because
go for sure. That'd be
she's
fun.
so entertaining. And you're right. I
Yeah.
don't know if she's looking for love, but she's always looking to have a good time.
Yes. And I thought it was so funny when he like spilled champagne on her and you could tell that she was mad,
Oh,
but she was like, it
she was
happens.
so annoyed.
She was
So
so
annoyed.
annoyed. That made me laugh so much. What else
Yeah.
made me laugh? Like, I laughed a lot. Yeah, I definitely laughed when all the guys were like, I've never seen Housewives. I don't know what that
Yeah.
is. You know,
Yeah.
that whole run of that montage was hilarious.
Uh-huh.
And the guy, Earl the Pearl, wearing his white shoes was
Oh,
so funny. I love him. I love him. I just
me
want
too.
the best for him.
His alligator shoes, I'll be honest, I cried during this episode. I'm a crier, but I didn't expect that at all. I was like, oh, we're gonna watch this fun dating show. And when he talked about like, because Shannon was kind of like, as people do, judging a little bit, like on first
Yeah.
impressions, and then he comes in with like just the opposite, and he's talking
Yeah.
about his wife that he loved and
And she
he
passed
lost
away.
her, she passed
Yeah.
away, and but he's not, he's just like, I know I had it once and I can have it again. I was weeping, Carla.
Yes, I love him. I was like, and honestly, I'm like, Earl, run from her. Do not, do not engage with
We'll
Shannon.
see.
Run, run,
Yeah.
Earl.
Yeah.
Because he's like, oh God, I don't know. It's a TV show. What am I saying? But he feels
Well,
very authentic,
absolutely.
and she seems like she's still figuring a lot of stuff out.
Oh, she is. You don't know Shannon. Shannon's had a lot of stuff happening.
Ooh.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
she was a lot.
She is
In
a
this
lot.
episode even.
Yeah.
But I appreciated that she was like, more attracted to some of the other men, but something about Earl is very
Yeah.
endearing. And so I was like, well, that's nice. She got some points in my book for that.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing about Shannon is a lot. And she can't not be herself. So it's fascinating to watch because she gets in her own way a lot. Like she just like all of those things. Yet I do think she has a good heart and she wants good things. So it's an
Yeah.
interesting dynamic because you watch her and you're like, what are you doing? And then you're like, I still kind of like you. I don't know.
Yeah.
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 Um,
I really like Giselle.
yes.
She just seems very forthright and like in her body and in her, she just seems confident.
Yeah.
And she wasn't like, I don't know, so many of these shows, of these episodes that we've seen are like the women, just picking at each other. And
Mhm.
it didn't feel that way. I mean, I guess it could change, but
Yeah.
um it was nice. It was refreshing. And she's beautiful,
Oh,
Giselle, like
yeah.
gorgeous. Seems really smart. Also hilarious when she's like, Rhode Island, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Or Connecticut, Rhode Island, whatever she said. And then she's
Yeah.
like, I don't know geography above Connecticut.
Yeah. She's like, here's the map up here. I don't know anything. So
Yeah. I
funny.
was like, That's really funny and kind of
Yeah.
relatable. You
Yeah,
know?
absolutely.
Um, that was cute. And then Ashley, I really like too. She's younger, so she seems like maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll see how it goes with Ashley, but first
Yeah.
impressions were good. And I just loved her and Wally together. I thought they were
Yeah.
so cute. And the whole thing at the end where he didn't kiss her and then he goes back and knocks on her door and kisses her was just like rom-com
Yes.
treasure.
That was
Yeah.
great because I really
Yeah.
did. I actually didn't see him coming back coming. Like I thought,
Yeah.
oh well, that's a bummer that
Missed opportunity. Yeah.
yeah, that was real cute. Okay, so we got, I think, so is who's your favorite of the
Um,
girls and the guys? Yeah.
mm, that's a great question. I mean, I think I'm like really rooting for Gizelle for some reason, but
Yeah.
Luann's really funny. I don't know.
Yes.
She's just like, she's going to be fun to watch. And then in terms of the guys, like Earl for
Yeah.
sure. And was not a huge fan of the surfer guy. He just seemed like,
Yeah.
ugh. But he didn't seem like a bad dude either. He
Nope.
didn't seem toxic, or, at least a good first impression didn't seem like some of the other men on these shows. So that was
No.
nice, refreshing. But I really liked Wally, and I really liked, oh, what was his name? The one that Giselle took out on a date. Oh, I've
Yeah.
forgotten.
I'm gonna pull up. I had the list up and then I went to Elizabeth Moss. Okay. I let's see. We got Wally or Wale, I can't remember. Wale, Earl the Pearl. We
Yeah.
love. Okay, there's a guy named Mark. He did not go on any of the dates, but he is awesome looking. He's got like white hair, white beard. He
Yes.
looks kind of like he could have been like on a soap opera in the like
Yes. In the
90s. Like he's
90s. Yes.
tan.
Yeah.
He's a real estate developer from New York. So that we maybe we'll see more of him next episode. We also did not see a date with this guy Philip, and Philip is the guy who's like he's from California. He seems kind of rich. He's got
Yeah.
curly hair, and he seems fun too, I think. And
Yes.
then there's Jay. That's who Gizelle went out with, I think. He's
Okay.
kind of serious. He comes off kind of serious, and
Yeah. I'm gonna look it up too.
I think she said like he checks all the boxes. Is
Mm.
that this episode? I'm not sure. That might have been the next
Uh,
episode.
no, I think it was. And she was like, I just don't feel the pull or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Is this Jay? Wait, sorry. Who?
I'm
I
gonna
should have pulled this up too.
No, I just did it because I was like, what's an easy place where I can see all their faces and names? Because these are new to us. I put a link
Yeah.
in the chat if you want to
Oh, great. Thank you. I'll pull it
pull
up.
that.
Sorry, everybody. Ha
No,
ha
it's all
ha.
good.
This is how
Yeah,
it
but so
goes.
back to while you pull that up, Jerry. So he's the surfer guy, and I think Luann was so into him, and I could see why. And then as soon as they started talking, I was like, she's out. She is so
Yep.
out. He's
Yep.
like talking about the beach. She's like, I could never live on the beach. I could never.
Yeah. She was not
No.
into it.
Oh yeah. Then he spilled that champagne. That was it. Oh, there's this guy Ralph. They all seem to like Ralph, but
They all were like, all of them were like, he's so handsome. And I'm
yeah,
not talking badly about Ralph. Ralph is
yeah,
totally fine, but just the way that like several of the women were like, he's the most handsome here. I was like, what?
yes, yeah,
He's good looking. Again, no shade, but I was just like, oh, interesting that you guys think he's the
totally.
most. Oh, with Nicholas, who's the one who's 45. I'm turning 45 in June. And when he was talking, my husband was in the room, Craig was in the room, and I was like, oh, this guy's 45. Do I look that
Oh
old?
no. Sorry, Nicholas.
And Craig was like, no, you do not. And I was like, and he's handsome. It's not,
Oh,
again, like,
totally.
but I just felt like I thought he was in his 50s for sure. But then I'm like, Carla, you're 45. You probably look 45.
No, you first of all, you don't. Second of all, I'm just looking at his picture. I mean, he's so tan. Like if you're like
Yeah.
tanning all the time, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
like
he's super into Ashley. He's like,
so into her. I thought he was sweet. I liked him.
yeah, I did too. All these other guys I don't even recognize.
Okay, well, we'll stop you there. Don't scroll past
Oh,
Nicholas.
do they bring more in?
Yeah.
They do. Oh,
Yeah.
I think that's different than the normal dating shows because
Yeah.
normally they're eliminated, right?
Yeah, it's pretty interesting. So,
Oh.
yeah, so Ralph, I want to point out, Ralph is the one who doesn't have a TV. So
Oh,
he doesn't know who any of these ladies are, and they all love him, which is
which
so
is
funny.
hilarious. Which
Yeah,
one is Ralph?
I'm gonna scroll down.
Oh yeah,
You
Ralph.
don't scroll that. If you did, it's okay. You're
I
gonna
already
meet
did.
some.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't know anything about these guys though. I think we should watch episode 2 and talk about it because this
I would
is
love to. Yeah,
so
I had so
fun.
much fun.
I'm
Jay,
loving it.
yeah, Jay, I really liked Jay. He's the one who went out with Gizelle, and he
Yeah.
actually seemed like my type.
Yeah.
Like very grounded and a little flirty, but
Yeah.
like, a little funny, but like not overdoing it, just kind of
Yes.
like present. And I guess it wasn't enough for her, but also it's the first day. I understand when the women are like, I want to explore. Like, why wouldn't you?
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
totally. I think that's the thing is like you can't just meet the person on the first one and then
Yeah.
what's the show going to be? So they kind of have to. It's
Right.
an interesting thing because it will, I think in this episode, Shannon's like, I've never gone out with dated more than one person before.
Yes.
Have you? And Luann's like, well, yeah.
Yes. Like every day of my life.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
So it's kind of cute because I feel like Shannon could learn a lot from Luann and
Yeah.
they're all it's a fun dynamic. And Ashley and Gizelle, they're both on Potomac and they're friends in real life, so at least on the
Okay.
show. So that's fun too. It just seems like a supportive girl
Yeah.
group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also liked how Wally, whatever, maybe it was Wale. I can't remember how he pronounced it, but nonetheless, when he was with Giselle and he was like, we're buds. And then Giselle was saying the same thing. She's like, I love him, but not like that, but like we're gonna be friends.
Yeah.
And I thought that was really cute to like show a different type of relationship that can
Yeah.
come out of this kind of situation. So there's not so
Yes.
much pressure. Um,
Yeah.
I'm sure they feel pressure, but there's not so much pressure on the audience of like, oh, I
Yeah.
hope that they find, it's like, oh no, they can just like laugh and have a good time together.
Yeah.
And yeah, yeah.
Exactly.
It feels like a healthy reality show.
Yeah.
May, Based on the first episode, I'm fully ready for it to go south.
That's the thing is I don't know because I've only seen 3
Yeah,
and who knows? That said, I'm so entertained. I love
yeah.
I feel like relaxed and I'm laughing when I'm watching it. Like versus we watched last week Jersey, which I
Oh,
do love, but I was stressed watching
yeah.
that. Like
It
I
was
was
upsetting.
so
The
stressed.
christening episode
Yeah,
is what we're
the
talking about. The
christening.
In the Name of the Father, season
Yes.
3, episode 1.
Yes. So, okay, let me see if there's anything else. Oh, what do you think, gut instinct, if you were right now, jump to the end episode and we had to match these ladies with their final person? So we know there's new people coming in. They're not in the picture though. So with these people, who do you think ends up with who? So who do you think, based off of this, who
Do you
would,
think
yeah,
can we go back and forth? Like I'll do one and you do one?
absolutely.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I'll take this easy one, which is Ashley and Wale. Seem like
Great.
they're gonna be a thing.
Yeah. Now I have seen a couple episodes, so I'm gonna pick based off of what I just can't I don't know. So I'm gonna say I'm trying to not pick things based on what I know. I'll say Luann's a toss up for me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna put her in the end, maybe with Ralph or Philip.
Yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
Ralph.
We didn't
Maybe
even talk about Philip, did we?
yeah,
Yeah.
Philip's but we briefly talked about him. He don't see much of him in this
No,
one,
you
but
don't so much of
he
them.
seems fun based on what I've seen. So, yeah.
Yeah, I can see like visually, I can see her with Philip. He's like very kind of like distinguished and
Yeah.
handsome, and I don't think Luann's gonna end up with anyone.
No. I
Why
don't
would
know either.
she?
Well,
So,
she'll make out with some
oh, we
people.
didn't talk about the dates. I'm sorry, I have to
Oh,
interrupt real
yeah,
quick
we have to.
because I lost my mind when they served them $25,000 tacos. I
Yeah, that
lost
was
my mind.
ridiculous.
I was like, this cannot be real. I need to Google it. How how is this possible? Like obviously,
Yeah,
that's how much they charge other people. They're not charging
sure.
the show that. They're, getting free publicity or whatever. But
Right.
still, like that's bananas. And then they were like Kobe beef and like all of these
Yeah.
like really fancy meats and then
Yes.
like the gold flakes, whatever that's called,
Yes.
like and caviar. And I was just like, oh my God, if I were any of the other women. And was it Giselle? I'm trying to remember who was. Yeah, I think it was. It was Giselle's date, wasn't it?
I
If
think so.
Giselle came back and was like, "We had $25,000 tacos," and I had had oysters, I would have been like, "What is happening?"
Yeah.
Tacos.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Can you say that again? Because you faded out because you were so
Oh,
excited.
sorry. I was just saying I would be like, I want to have $25,000 tacos. Like I must
Yeah.
because this isn't fair. You gave me like whatever chocolate stuff or
Yeah.
cocoa, like whatever, like beans or whatever. Like, no, I want a $25,000 taco right now.
Yeah. I would have been upset too. Did you look it up? Is it a real thing?
I didn't look it up. No, I
Okay.
meant to,
Maybe we
and then I
will.
didn't.
One of the
Yeah.
things I love doing, especially like in Beverly Hills and on Vanderpump, I love when they go to restaurants. I always look up the restaurant to see if it's still
Yeah,
there, to
that's
see what
fun.
they're serving, that kind of a thing. So I might look up this hotel and their food.
Yeah, yeah. No, it
Yeah.
was great. It was great. And I actually did really like the clam date with the champagne. I guess they were clams, not oysters. I
Yeah.
don't know
Yeah.
that they
It was cute.
served them. It was cute, yeah. Especially because he's a surfer or whatever. I loved that she was like, he kind of, it seemed like he wanted to kiss her, and she just kind of like grazed his
Oh,
the
she
corner of
was
his mouth. She was like,
not
I'm
into
not.
him.
I'm like, why
Yeah.
did she pick him? I didn't understand, even like based on just their brief interaction earlier.
I think it was a physical pick for her. I think
Okay.
she is very sensual and she like
Yeah.
I think he on paper looks like that handsome, like
Mm,
wealthy guy.
sporty. Yeah, athletic,
Yeah,
I
and
guess.
it's just
Athletic.
she, I think, needs people with a little bit more of a personality. Like, not that he doesn't have a
Hmm.
personality, but she is very like I think fun and funny, like you said,
Yeah.
and he seems very like I.
Laid back. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and I
Hmm.
think that
Hmm.
she maybe would be bored pretty quickly, but I don't know why she picked him either because she said she thought Ralph was hot and she didn't pick Ralph. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody was going crazy for Ralph. I mean, I'm maybe over explain or yeah,
Yeah.
maybe overemphasizing, but the show did make a point of like putting a clip together of pretty much all the women being like, Ralph is really handsome.
Yeah.
And then nobody picked Ralph to go on a date with.
I know. I know. Very interesting. And the other thing is like they're all attractive. And we've
Yeah.
also seen though, when you see people in person, sometimes people are even way more like I told you I
Yeah.
saw Lisa Vanderpump and I was like, whoa, like that's the most
Yeah.
beautiful person I've ever seen. I've heard some people have seen some of the Southern Charm, one of the Southern Charm guys in person. They're like, oh, I get it now. Like,
Oh,
so
yeah.
maybe in person, Ralph has just got something going
He's
on.
got the charisma. Yeah, they were
Yeah.
saying a few of the guys were saying that about Luann on the show, like she's beautiful.
Yeah.
And I definitely think she's beautiful. I just
Yes.
it's like you said, it's tricky. I don't know. Like also never mind. I don't want to talk about the looks. Never mind. I changed my
Okay. Okay.
mind. Veering,
That's fair.
veering. Yeah.
No worries. Oh, I meant to ask you last week when we talked about Jersey what you thought of the fashion. That's a different
Oh,
episode, but
woof. Yeah.
right?
Rough.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
Melissa's christening dress was like that orange bubble thing with the jewels
Yeah.
at the top. It was
Oh,
so of a time. It was so funny to
yeah.
me.
Totally.
Uh, yeah. The fashion on this is great. I love it.
So far, so good.
So far, so good. So I'm gonna match up. I don't know. We've got Gizelle and Shannon left, right? So based
Mhm.
on this episode, who do you want to match, Shannon or Giselle? I'll do the other one.
I think Giselle and Ralph should go on a date together.
Yeah.
I feel like they, and maybe even Giselle said she thought, or yeah, she did. She said she thought he was handsome. Oh, and they were talking at the end of the
Yeah.
episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that leaves Shannon. I'll put Shannon with Earl. I think she'll
Yeah.
probably explore a little bit. Yet I
Yeah.
think I know a little bit about Shannon. She's gone through a lot and she kind of
Hmm.
could use somebody who's so sweet like that. So,
Yeah. I think she was feeling that too, which is why but however, I think she'd be too mean to him. I really do. Like she was kind of like making fun of him a little bit, and I was like, come on. And he was taking it with such good humor. Um,
I
but
think you have good
yeah,
instincts, Carla.
yeah, I just don't think, I don't know her. I don't want to say she's a bad person. She's probably not, but I just don't think she's in the right place for such a sweet guy.
Right. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. Well, do you have any other thoughts on first
No, it was
episode of
really
Love
fun.
Hotel?
I'm glad we did this. It
Me
felt
too.
So much, just being honest, like it felt way easier to watch this than the
Good.
Housewives stuff. Yeah.
Great. I love it. Well, here's what I mean, we are gonna have to still continue your education. So next week I will assign you a Housewives. I already
Great.
know which one, so I'll hop back on after and tell our listeners and viewers what that's gonna be so they can watch along with you. And then I think the next week let's do episode 2 of Love Hotel, unless
Okay.
we change our
Yeah.
minds.
I love
Yeah.
it. Can you just tell me now what it's going to be?
Well, it's gonna be Miami. It's
Okay,
gonna be
great.
Miami.
Okay.
So I have to narrow down the exact episode. So
Okay, great.
I will get that to
Good.
you
I would like
shortly.
to see Miami. I used to live in
Yeah.
South Florida, so I'm excited to
Oh,
see.
yes, that's right.
I lived in Fort Lauderdale, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
been to
I'll
Miami
have
a
to
lot.
find a good one. And I'm trying to base these on things that you like. So I've got to make
Yeah,
sure I pick the right one.
great.
Okay.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Robyn.
Well, jury's in. We love Love Hotel.
Yeah,
And yeah, that's it. That's another episode of the Bravo Bubble. I am Robyn Lynn Norris. Thank you so much for joining us. We hope that we've gotten some great listeners so far. We're entering into our third month of shows. So follow us if you aren't already at the Bravo Bubble. Leave us a review. We love the reviews. And Carla, what else?
we want to thank our fantastic photographer, Ian Zandy.
And our composer, Krista Duggan.
Yep. And also, if you can leave us a review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, that is incredibly helpful in terms of helping us get the word out.
Yeah. Awesome. We will see you next time. Bye.
Bye.
Hi, everyone. Robyn here with Carla and your next Bravo Bubble assignment. After Love Island, we got to keep the fun going. So we are going to Miami. They are about to air their new season. So we've got to get Carla in on this. So the assignment is season 6, episode 6, The Farmer of the Opera. Have fun. We'll see you next time.